Photo walks are a great way to build community and learn more about your craft away from the computer screen. Whether it's just hitting out with 2 or 3 friends or hosting your own event, people always ask what's the most important thing to run a successful photo walk.
Create a friendly environment, don't be a dick.
I'm Phil, and I've been slowly getting back into photography and the community surrounding it over the last year or so. My organization skills are considerably stronger than my photography. Is skills an appropriate word here? Anyway, I found myself organizing events where both myself and others can learn from the far more talented photographers around us in the scene. Last year, I filmed a bunch of videos with artists living in Korea, and a few of them were talented photographers that helped me get that itch to get out and shoot again for the first time since Instameets were a thing. One of them was Jason Teal.
I was really trying to build that community initially.
He's a 20-year veteran who lives and shoots in Ulsan, South Korea. He's also been leading community events and photo walks since 2009, teaches a photography class, and hosts the Sajan Photography podcast.
You're getting a mixed bag of people. You're going to get some of the old school guys that are really heavy into cameras and they're really heavy into technique. But a lot of times photo walks have a sort of a tour aspect. So people may come to your photo walk as a part of just to see the area. And that's kind of been growing more and more. In the time that I've done the classes this past year, I noticed that when people are exposed to all of these creative outlets, they want to play around with that. And they don't need someone gatekeeping their creativity.
Second, put some thought into the theme. Themes can be a double-edged sword. If they're too narrow, then there's only going to be one shot to get. You got to keep them broad enough to allow people to express their own creativity. That's where locations become important too. They need to be broad enough to give variety, but also have an obvious starting point for beginners to focus on.
The participants will go slower than you expect. And especially if you're a leader, you don't want to be the guy holding the flag all right, go this way. Have an itinerary, we're going to do this, and then we're going to go here, and give the times. Because if people do wander off, they know where they have to be at certain times. You do not have to run the gauntlet. You do not have to stick by my side. If you want to disappear, grab a coffee halfway through, or just sit down in the park, fine. I've had some people, they've gone off, they've grabbed a cup of coffee at a funky little cafe in the area. Guess what they did? They took pictures. And then some of those are really good ones.
Try to build groups. If you've got experienced photographers in the walk, lean on them for support. Pair them with someone who's interested in similar style. Maybe you've got some photographer who excels at street. Maybe you've got someone who's all about landscape. Give them a chance to share their expertise. And also help out with tech support. Sony users are more likely to know how to help with a problem on a beginner's Sony camera. Making smaller groups within the walk helps to share tips and takes the focus and pressure off having a single leader. And those experienced photographers might just pick up a few things from being around the fresh, unjaded eyes of a newbie.
The orientation is important, I think. You're going to introduce yourself. You want to sort of say hey, I'm the guy that you've been talking to the last couple of weeks as we're setting it up. So if you have a problem, talk to me. Set up a specific cacao group for that photo walk. And the reason you do that is in the past, I've shared my phone number. You're getting phone calls where are you? I can't see the group anymore. Other people were handling that. Oh, we're right behind you. We know where to go. We can see you. Come this way. That, again, going back to the camaraderie, that helps you immensely. So you can take care of that during the orientation. Safety risks, rules, don't be a pervert. The people in these areas are not paid models, so they're not objects for you to shove your camera into and photograph. You can say if you get lost, this is what you do. If you need to leave, just send a message. You give all of that stuff at the beginning, but it's that pause where you collect everybody, and then you can do a group shot and sort of commemorate the moment.
Once you've built up a steady event and you need ways to freshen it up, you can consider some challenges. Scout the area before you start the walk, take some close-up photos, and have the group go catch them all. It's Pokemon Go for photographers. You can try color themes or even go all out and include prizes. For example, if you've got a film photo crew, have everyone bring one roll of film and put them into a pot. The winner of the challenge gets to take the whole bunch home with them.
Like everybody's gone through the journey, but it's one of these things where it gives people a chance to sort of decompress and talk about like, oh yeah, like, did you go to this spot? Oh yeah, we went there and it was amazing.
These are just a few tips that I hope come in handy. As a whole, creative community got far too used to staying home and living online for a few years there. We need more community-focused events to get back out and interacting with real people. So if you do make an event and you find these tips useful, please leave a comment and let me know. I'd love to hear it. Also, if you have any other bits of advice that you think would help make a successful walk or in community event in general, I'd also love to hear it. Thanks for watching. See you all in the next video.